These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
Just wanna touch you for a minute. Maybe 3 seconds is enough for my heart to quit it. Let's have some fun, this beat is sick. I wanna take a ride on your disco stick.
These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. It's America's Barley Basket.
Welcome everyone to episode 107 of America's Barley Basket. I am your host Marlon Wells, alongside host Nathan Fulsabach. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlon.
No nonsense. We are doing podcasting.
The griddle's hot. We gotta get the
efficiency
entertainment batter in there.
Hello. These people came for a show. God damn it.
Yeah, tonight's the night. This is it. Dim the lights. I've struggled. I haven't watched the Looney Tunes in a while.
I don't quite know where this like Phil Ken Seven delivery came from. Like, promotions.
Podcasting.
How are you, bud?
Okay.
Yeah.
Compared to, I was just in this chair nary 72 hours ago.
The fun fart chair.
Yeah. Now before I was scantily clad the last time I was here.
Yes, you were.
Very petite basketball shorts for my ample bottom.
Yeah.
But now dressed to impress.
Not today. Proper pants.
Proper pants. Pants boy today.
Yeah.
I mean, they are very Hager dress pants, but dress pants nonetheless.
Yeah, I am still dressing like a dirtbag over
Hey,
here.
You're on vacation.
Still dressing like somebody who knows how to strip the parts out of a carburetor, and I don't.
A mid-card ECW tag team wrestler. Johnny Grunge's cousin or something.
Like I might manage the not nasty boys, but I'm not one of them. Yeah. I'm the Spike Dudley of the nasty boys.
Yeah, like when they really want to get some heat, you're one of the goons that call him to put the boots to Robert Gibson while Ricky Morton watches.
Yeah, if this is the NWO, I'm for sure the Buff Bagwell of it. Like not a lot of talent, but he's there.
Scott Norton,
he can look the part.
Yeah.
Scott Norton was a fucking killer.
Yeah. Was he good in the ring?
Oh yeah, Scott Norton.
I barely
hell of a
remember
wrestler.
him at all.
They didn't do much with him in
Yeah.
WCW. He was just kind of the intimidator. But like, you can look up some old fucking Scott Norton matches from Japan that are legit bangers.
Did he? He had like a crazy ass running shoulder breaker as like a finisher. I remember.
Also, I think an accomplished arm wrestler.
Yep, he totally was.
Yeah,
he's a Minnesota boy.
Oh, yeah, he is. A lot of Minnesota people got into pro wrestling.
A lot of guidance counselors.
I wonder why that is.
Big Scandinavians.
Yeah, I suppose.
Got
just
into weightlifting.
Big corn-fed motherfuckers up here.
Yeah.
Makes
Take
sense.
direction well.
Yeah. Politely follow directions. Yes.
Hey, fall on your head for 20 years. Okay.
You got it.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, my brain's all bumpy. Too many brain bumps.
Too many brain bumps is the wrestling documentary I would watch.
Yeah, watching one of the, I don't know, fucking Samoan SWAT team try to eat soup with a fork. It's like, that's a bitch. Too many DDTs.
Oh, no.
And can't figure it out. Just getting more and more frustrated. Some kind of novelty soup. The soup come from the Johnson Smith Company.
He insists that it's the soup. It's the soup that's the problem.
Sir, it's your fork. I use this fork for every meal.
It's like novelty candles that will blow out. What kind of gag shop you get this soup from?
You'll never blow the candles out, sir. Bullshit.
Been at it for 45 minutes, sweating, huffing, and puffing.
Never seen a 75-year-old man with this much wind.
Oh, hell.
You know who could probably blow candles out if they were so inclined? The Simpsons.
Attaboy. See, it feels good when you do it.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel good when I do it.
Yeah.
I've decided to stop.
There's no shame in that.
Thank you.
We are at episode 19 of season 23.
4.
24. I think that's what I said. I think there's a wind in the room.
I wish there was some way to know. Yeah.
The episode we're up to is Whiskey Business.
Get it?
Yeah, because Risky Business is a movie. Whiskey is a beverage that is featured in this episode.
Nailing it.
Yeah. Episode starts with a suicidal Moe hoping that Lenny, Carl, or Homer will convince him not to hang himself. They're just being barflies, and they nothing to them, but they're just...
This scene is bonkers.
Yeah.
Like, don't
How
just
early
drive
it
past
is.
this. It's so crazy of him being like, well, I guess no one's gonna help me.
Yeah.
Help.
And like one of the ones we don't know the name of is just lying, like head down, like he's out. And
is this where he throws up on the bar?
I think so.
Boy.
Yep. They're in a bad place. And many literal and figurative cries for help. He keeps opening the window for someone to save him, and it never happens. So, by God, he's finally going to go through with it. And thankfully, the shoddy craftsmanship of Moe's bar, just the ceiling joist snaps.
Which is also a problem.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And I think, is it Homer that resuscitates him?
With that fucking Bee Gees song.
Yeah, because I can't remember if it's right now or later. It's like they think it's Staying Alive. No, that's too on the nose. Because it's How Deep Is Your Love.
Which is so bonkers, because who knows a second Bee Gees song? I certainly don't. And that they all know the lyrics to it. Yeah. And that Staying Alive is the one they use for training CPR. Unbelievable.
I love when Homer during an emergency. No, that's too on the nose. But I mean, in the Springfield world, it must have worked, because by God, he revives Moe. Homer, Lenny, and Carl, and now Marge is involved. They kind of decide, hey, thankfully they notice, you know what? Moe ain't doing so hot.
Yeah.
They was like, we got to get him a new lease on life, kind of put a little pep in his step. We're going to take him on a road trip to Capital City, and goddamn, if we don't get the Capital City song.
Yeah, Tony Bennett.
That's a throwback. That's
I thought the
way
same thing.
back. That's a mid to, if not early 90s episode. I always forget that Capital City is supposed to be like a major city.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like a New York city.
Because just like anytime they do like a trip like this, we're going to get a montage of things that they're doing. One of which we get is the Capital City cops macing protesters.
Yep. Do you recognize that? Because that's a famous photo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of them just walking by, just bear macing people.
Yeah. And then is it Moe that asks if he can?
Yeah, and they do. They let him.
He's a tourist.
Why not? There's I don't mean to stop you, but we have to acknowledge, as they're in the limo, Lenny and Carl are standing on the seat with their heads up out of the sunroof, and so we're inside the limo looking at Marge, Homer, and Moe talking, and you just see like waist down of Lenny and Carl, and they briefly and hold it for a few minutes. They just hold hands.
Yeah.
And then let go. Like it doesn't, no one addresses it. Yep. It's just Lenny and Carl briefly holding hands just for a moment.
Enjoying the sights, holding hands.
I loved it. I was like, that's such a good fucking thing to put in there. That killed me.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that is a good catch. There's a couple things in this batch where they just do it in the background. It's like, if you notice it, great. If you don't, that's great too. So while all of this is going on, Bart is building a obscenely unsafe water slide. It's like you start on the roof of the Simpsons house and there's a million and it's all like just scrap lumber. Yeah, like it's insanity. And so he could pull this off without Lisa's prying eyes. He sends Lisa to some kind of like basically just like
the jazz hole.
Yeah, like just basically it's just jazz night. It's nothing special. It's just they're all all the local, because we get a gag of all the different like birthmark Jim and this and that. And the guy who's
the
head
Fat Neck sisters.
Yeah. But what blows Lisa's mind is who is there but goddamn Bleeding Gums Murphy.
I marked out.
I was like, what?
I was like, holy shit,
what are we gonna get some kind of, it should have dawned on me, okay, this is 2012, 2013. And what was the rage at that time was big concert events, holograms of dead performers.
Hologram Tupac.
Yeah. Is Tupac the only one? There's been a couple others.
No, there's been others, but he's the first one that I remember making the news in a big way.
Yeah. So Lisa is shook by this because, Lisa's a very, earnest person. She doesn't want to see the likeness of her, childhood idol being used for ill-gotten gains.
Yeah.
Because Eventually, we see it getting used in like advertising.
Yeah.
bleeding gum Murphy for Dentine gum or something like that.
Yeah, he like blows on his saxophone and an ad for like Red Genie carpet cleaners comes out or something, and Lisa's horrified.
Yeah. Oh, that was good. So back to the main story. Mo is still kind of a stick in the mud. Like, when they all had their heads out of the limo, he's just like, just chance for me to see how much everything sucks everywhere. You know, like
Lenny, by the way, when he tells him to stick his head out the window, he's like, go ahead, stick your head up out of the sunroof. You'll look like the richest dog in the world.
Oh, God.
Jesus. You're supposed to be cheering him up on this trip.
Mo does kind of look like a fancy dog. So to really hopefully kind of, give him a little confidence and turn things around, they get him like a tailored suit.
Yeah.
And my one time was like, try this, Mo. It'll match the seersucker in your eyes.
Yeah.
We get a weird close-up of Mo's eyes with that pattern in them. Like,
quick reminder that their irises do exist.
Yeah, so weird. I forget about that. Mo is feeling himself. That's the trick. That's what did it. It?
Honestly, a nice suit will do it. Like dressing up will turn me around for sure. I'm a boy that likes to dress up if I got the reason for it.
What's the Deion Sanders line? You look good, you play good.
Oh.
You play good, they pay good. I think there's a line in there I'm missing.
Deion. Yeah. Of course. Of course, you got to bring money into it, Deion. Showtime.
So now Mo, all full of beans, he's back. He's looking at the Mo's Tavern, very shabby.
Yeah,
but he's feeling. It's like, I'm going to clean this place up. We get that insane him brushing on the ground.
Oh my God!
Like it's an archaeological find. Like what does he get down to? Is it just wood floors?
Hardwood underneath all that. But before that, you get like he brushes the tile, and under the tile is
something I didn't recognize.
A different tile, and under that is carpet, and under that
more
is more
dirt.
tile.
More dirt at one time.
There's a dirt floor in there at some point. He brushes away like 8 layers of this everlasting gobstopper, and it's fucking hardwood at the bottom of it.
Discovered all that by brushing.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
And during this time, a couple like besuited, fancy young men come in, like that are obviously businessmen of some type, and they want something off the beaten path, like something kind of fancy. And like, what do you? It's like, well, like, do you have anything that's just yours? He's like, it's a bourbon he makes. And do we get any? I'm sure there's a joke made about the backstory behind it, but
not really.
It's just a mason jar full of bourbon, which he pours for these 2 guys, and they love it. So now we don't quite jump into it right away, but I think they tell them that they're venture capitalists.
Yeah.
So now the gears are rolling for Mo to have this fancy new booze. But cutting back to the other story, at the water slide, Grandpa, who's supposed to be watching the kids, ends up trying to get Bart down from the roof, ends up taking the goddamn water slide himself, which should have killed him.
Yeah.
It's insane what he goes through. But he is laid up. He's all jacked up, which would happen if a man that age went down a water slide like that. And Bart is fearful of this, so he hides Grandpa in the basement. So basically, he's just Grandpa's secret nurse because Marge and Homer come home. And like, oh yeah, Grandpa just had to go home. He's like, oh, he was supposed to get a hold of us. He's like, no, he's just said he's gonna nap all week.
And Marge is good for him.
Yeah, he needed to catch up on his napping. Good for him. So he's just like he's Grandpa's wet nurse just coming downstairs bringing him things, and they love that he builds that like luge course to run his pills down to see which one gets to him. It's like dementia beats hypertension yet again.
Call me crazy, but I can't stop betting on dementia is a fun line.
Yeah. And Grandpa, it turns out, once Bart leaves, is now better, but he's enjoying his time with Bart, so he's lying about how sick he is.
And Bart's enjoying it too. Like they're having a good run together.
Yeah, good point. So cutting back to Mo, is killing it with his new suit and his trendy moonshine. Mo is about to become a big thing, but I think he's going to meet the venture capitalists in capital city, and a thread gets caught, and we watch as the elevator rises and his suit unravels.
Yep.
And now it's almost like the suit was magic and he's nothing without it. He shows up at the Simpson household in literal rags. And I love a reoccurring joke of Mo calling Marge Midge. Like, hey, Midge, you think you can patch this up?
I don't know why, but that's fun to me.
Nothing to like, and he turns around and it's like assless chaps. There's nothing in the back, and Marge's like, "Whoa, I'm glad the kids weren't here." All we hear is, "I was." It's Lisa in a nightgown holding a glass of water. There's just shocked look on her face.
She's just shell shocked
seeing Mo's gross bare ass. Oh yeah, that was good.
that shot of him with those suit pants with just the cheeks ripped out is very funny.
So Marge has to break it to him, like, this suit cannot be fixed. But hey, it wasn't the suit that was magic. It's you and your bourbon. Like, you're the
gives him the Dumbo speech.
Yeah. And is it Homer that tries to? So wait, so were the ears, or the suit was the ears, and Mo's Dumbo, and we're the racist crows? Like, or that's maybe Bart.
That's Lisa.
That's Lisa.
That, yeah.
Because Homer's like, it wasn't the crows that were racist, it was the guys that drew them.
Yep, that's a fun joke. Yeah. The crows weren't racist, the artists were.
Cut back to Bart bringing Grandpa some food, but Grandpa didn't realize he was coming down, and he's busy dancing to Waltz Waltz Revolution.
Fuck yeah.
So clearly not injured anymore.
One just for Marlin. That was
right? Yeah. He tries to sell it like, oh, my bag. It's like, by that point, it's over. But they have a nice moment. Like, hey, I really, I got so much better care here, and I enjoyed spending time with you so much more than the old folks' home. And Bart, the anger goes away, but you could tell it's the end. Grandpa's got to go. You know? Like, I ain't going to keep being a nurse for you. So Mo, full of vigor, doesn't need the suit anymore. He goes there because something happens that makes everyone edgy about investing in Maker's Mo, or Maker's Mo. And he said, I just want to let you know that I'm going to make this with my own natural ingredients, and the stock keeps dropping.
The stock ticker behind him.
I won't rest. Yeah, every batch will meet my personal standards. Just
every sentence.
Somehow everyone knows Mo's a fucking scumbag.
And I love that the last thing he says is, with ingredients made in America, and it takes its biggest drop.
Right?
It goes from like -100 to -300. Yeah. I like that they made that the biggest fucking detractor of his hooch.
So Mo's dreams of having a boutique bourbon are gone. Him back at Mo's, it's empty. He's just cleaning up a little bit. And then he just sees the noose. Why was it rehung? The noose is hanging in that side room. And Mo's like, not tonight, old friend. He said, but don't worry, the holidays are coming soon. So I guess for now, Mo's okay.
That was an origin of the meme. Not today, old friend, of him looking at the noose. I've seen that a million times.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah, I liked that.
Speaking of good ones, this episode was a good one.
I did really like it. I thought a little light on the laughs, but I really liked the story. I like a Mo-centric one.
The peek into Mo's life was very good.
Yeah, I after just saying light on the laughs, though, that... God damn it, I was dying when he kept brushing away different levels of floor in Mo's was so funny.
Yeah.
And early on when he's on the suicide prevention hotline, but it's a fucking press 1 or 2 robot, and he's just like, I want to talk to a human being. Yeah, that was very good.
This was a very good episode,
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Episode 20 is The Fabulous Faker Boy. Do you know what that means? I don't.
The Fabulous Baker Boys was a movie.
Okay.
I don't know if it's both Bo and Jeff Bridges, probably late 80s. I want to say Michelle Pfeiffer, but that could be wrong.
Oh.
Yeah. I have no idea. It's one of those, I saw the VHS
You've
box.
seen the cover.
Yeah. No idea what it's about.
I have plenty of those. Yep. I have no idea what the Pelican Brief is, but I bet I could draw the cover from memory.
I know it's a legal thing. I think it's based off a John Grisham novel.
Okay. Sure. That's totally
I'm sure
feasible.
Slamming fists on desks.
Yeah,
they
a lot of impassioned speeches and handsome dark-haired men.
Yeah, so many brunette men.
Oh, my God. Right out of the gate, this robot chicken couch gag.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed. Do you have any familiarity or love for robot chicken?
Not love, but no dislike.
Okay.
I've never once, robot chicken's on, I got to watch.
Oh, really?
This is what's on before a show I want to see. That's fine.
I watched I bet I watched the first 5 seasons of Robot Chicken a dozen times.
Oh, no shit.
Those were ones like, ooh, that the new season's out on DVD, and add it to the collection.
It never made that. You think they're still making new ones?
I have no idea.
That show's getting old.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But I always really enjoyed that show. That show apparently is a lot of work to produce.
Claymation. Man. Yeah, I bet.
You know, but I always remember really liking that show. And doubly so, I like when they dog on it on Family Guy.
Yeah,
Occasionally, they'll take a cheap shot at Robot Chicken because Seth Green plays Chris, and there's usually some line of like, fuck Robot Chicken, and Chris off to the side being like, hey, man, you know? That's always a fun joke. I like when that happens. But yeah, there was a time I watched a shit ton of Robot Chicken.
I do like that we get Spider Pig getting cheesed by a drone.
Right?
And
yeah.
like,
in
Jesus,
that very opening cloud shot. Marge is having a meeting with Skinner. Never good, of course, for Marge anyway. By the end of the meeting, he wants Bart to take music because he thinks that Bart would cause less trouble if he had a creative outlet, and thinks that should be music. Explains that he's taking, is it flamenco? Is that the name of that style of Spanish guitar?
I think so, yeah.
He's taking flamenco lessons and like stomps on his mom's photo, like clearly gives him a little sauce. Yeah. So why not? You ever play a musical instrument? We've probably covered this at some point.
I started taking guitar lessons, but I was already like 17.
Oh, okay.
So not quite the same. I wish I could have gotten something like, because music's so goddamn confusing, like musical theory. I wish I would have taken piano lessons or something.
Yeah, piano is something that, looking back, I wish like sitting here today, I wish I knew how to play the piano.
Yeah.
I was a trumpeter in elementary.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ska band?
God, I wish. Fucking
just bypass the high school band for a ska band.
And just immediately start a ska band. But no ska band. I was just part of the school band.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah.
Holy shit. You going home and like asking for a checkered suit? Honey, they don't have them in
Imagine
Bismarck.
Checkered pants in my size today.
Yeah, not like sweats. Like
proper dress pants.
It was like a zoot suit.
Yeah, but they're checker patterned.
Yeah.
Pick it up. I can't pick up anything in these pants, okay?
Yeah.
I have no mobility in these fucking pants.
How many shoes I'm wearing?
So he wants Bart to take music. That's where we leave that for a second. We check in with Homer, who has lost his last 2 hairs. And I love what a big deal both he and everyone else makes of this, as if it's going to be drastically different than what he already looks like.
I love any hair alteration Homer episodes.
Especially, like, I immediately think back to that hair tonic one.
Yeah.
Where just Bart drinks it or
recently,
takes it.
When he gets the goatee, which is so repulsive.
Oh, yeah. Having fun with Homer's hair is always a good time. So he's struggling with that. Oh, God, what am I going to do? Bart hears some music pitches from people around town. Lisa wants to teach him the sax. No. Fucking Sideshow Mel can, like, play a slide whistle, but not just... Exactly.
Yeah,
like can actually play it like it's a real instrument, which had me thinking, is a slide whistle a real instrument? Can you
guess?
I guess.
Yeah.
There's notes all along that scale.
What the hell? Yeah.
It's like a trombone, basically.
Yeah.
So
poor man's trombone.
Like, I legitimately was like, wait a minute. Comic book guy wants to play what was that? It was like a sitar
from Dune.
From Dune. Yeah.
Like.
And he has all the Dune books.
Yeah.
I like that one of them is Dune, Where's My Car? I laughed at that.
There's some good fake Dune books. Yeah.
You ever read any of those?
I haven't.
You ever see the old movie or the new movie?
Neither.
Me neither. I'm a Dune virgin.
I've heard the Dune novels are good.
You want to start a new podcast where we read the Dune novels?
Dune Boys? Dune. It's us. It's us doing it always on location in a side-by-side.
Dune buggies. All right. I'm pretty into it. I would absolutely start another podcast. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it on a pod. Maybe I shouldn't talk about ideas for new podcasts that I want to start on an existing podcast. But there was a time towards the front of COVID before, not long after we started this show, where I was like, what if I had a podcast where I just read? Like, just read out loud. Just, here's a book.
But do like public domain shit?
You'd probably have to, because I bet people would be mad.
It was
Otherwise.
like reading like the current bestseller.
Yeah, I'm reading "Girl, Wash Your Face," and that lady fucking comes and assassinates me. Rachel Hollister, or whatever her fucking name is. It's definitely not Rachel Hollister, I don't think, but whatever. But yeah, I think that would be fun. Everybody likes being read too, right?
It's a soothing feeling.
Yeah, and maybe someday. He also hears a pitch from Frink. I like that Frink has a theremin that makes Frink noises.
Yeah, so weird.
How do you think a theremin works? I don't have a fucking clue. It
Black
seems
magic.
like magic.
Yep.
Has anyone cool ever played a theremin, or is that strictly a nerd instrument?
Well, I mean, some of the Beach Boys did because it's in Good Vibrations. But I mean...
No, I said good bands.
Holy fuck, I'm going to start this hotel room on fire. I mean, it ain't all good, but goddamn Pet Sounds is the tip.
Oh, yeah, Pet Sounds is still on my must-listen list.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten around. I bet that was 80 episodes ago you were telling me to listen to Pet Sounds.
Standing for the Beach Boys back then, too.
I still haven't watched Safe Men either. Like, I should go back and listen to all the episodes we've done and make a list of homework I never did.
It would be very terrifying. Like, oh, man, that's 150 hours of content I need to absorb.
I bet you didn't listen to that one Champagne Jam record I told you to listen to.
No.
So
I was trying to think of what's an
we're
example.
all guilty here. Yeah, whatever. Someday. Anyways, Homer has a beret and thinks that that's going to hide that he's bald. We get fucking Flanders' dad yet again.
Has he become a recurring character?
We've seen him more in the past 10 episodes than we did the first 20 seasons of this show. And then, so Homer has an interaction with Apu about his beret and his lost hair. Then we get Marge taking Bart for piano lessons. You said, want to learn how to play piano. Apparently, this is how you do it. You go find a Russian man.
Yeah, who has a daughter.
Who knows how to play.
Niece or whatever the relation is.
I think it's daughter, yeah. The dad, by the way, played by Bill Hader. Which you would never know.
Not a bit.
Because he's just doing a Russian impression.
Yeah.
And the daughter's played by, what's her name? Jane Krakowski, the blonde from 30 Rock.
Yeah, also from Ally McBeal back in the day.
Oh, never saw Ally McBeal, but she's Jenna from 30 Rock to me.
It's good voice acting on her part, too.
Yeah, a couple of good pulls, and then don't make it obvious who they are. I like
Always
when they do
that.
that.
Yep.
Like Ed Norton in the last batch that we reviewed. Bart immediately smitten, completely slack-jawed over this Russian gal, who is his piano teacher. And the deal is she'll teach him how to play piano if Marge teaches the dad how to drive. Starting
driving as a middle-aged man's got to be terrifying.
Can you imagine? Yeah, terrifying's
Insanity,
the right word for sure. I can't, because I've been driving since I was 6, like... You just learn quick on the farm because you got to drive.
Yeah, like imagine being 55 years old. Like, okay, I'm sure this wheel turns this way or that.
Oh, there's pedals.
There aren't many. I'll trial and error which pedal does what. Or when you pick up a video game without looking at the instruction book.
Yes.
It's like, that's the pass button, not the shoot button.
Yeah.
Imagine driving like that. Like, nope, wrong pedal.
Were you a manual reader if you got a new Nintendo game?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Always read the manual.
Because I'd watch my dipshit friends struggle with it. It's like, bro, hold back for 8 minutes. Read the instructions. Know what buttons to push. Come on.
That's why, I feel like every 3 years on Twitter, it flares up. Did you know that player 2 can control the ducks in Duck Hunt? It's like, yeah, motherfucker, it says it in the book. Read.
See, I don't think I knew that until way later, but also I disliked Duck Hunt so much.
Really?
That I was just like, ugh. I thought anything with the game or with the gun was like low rent. It was chintzy. It was a novelty. Like, this is true gaming, involves just the controller and your wits.
Oh man, when I was a child, I remember thinking like, this is the future of everything. Oh my God. Like, you can point it and shoot and it reacts on the screen.
Did you ever know anyone that had the Super Scope for the Super Nintendo? I knew one kid.
No, nobody. I knew. What did that work with? One game?
Like 3.
Yeah, pretty limited use.
God, and that was expensive. It was like, I think it was like $79.99 in like 1991.
We had the Power Pad.
Oh no shit!
Yep, the Power Pad that you run, because I had the Nintendo cartridge that was
Track and Field.
Yeah, it was the three banger. It was Mario, Duck Hunt, and Track and Field came on the same cartridge. So we had the Power Pad.
Again, how many games was that for?
There was Track and Field, and I remember a cop game.
Oh no shit!
A side-scrolling. Not side-scrolling as in beat 'em up, but side-scrolling just as like Zelda 2, where you're a cop and you would run and jump to progress through the level. And then I think still used the controller to like shoot and stuff. I remember it not being good.
I'm just gonna say that sounds like kids tripping in cords.
Yeah, not a good thing. What other bonkers Nintendo accessories were there? Like,
the glove. Power glove.
Oh, Power Glove.
And Robbie the robot.
Never had a Robbie. Never had a Power Glove.
OG Nintendo. That, like, by the time I got a Nintendo, Robbie was no longer getting featured in ads.
Oh, sure.
And like, so Robbie was supposed to be someone you could play with. This little robot that sat next to you, right? Like, it couldn't have worked worth a shit, right?
He's a character in the Smash Brothers games now.
Oh shit. Really?
So is Mr. Game & Watch from the Game & Watch system.
What was Game & Watch?
That was one of those little, remember those Tiger Electronics games?
Yeah.
It was like Nintendo's version of that.
Oh, they like a little portable, like
they made one of those.
You don't load cartridges, it's all self-contained.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, I didn't know Nintendo got into that.
Cards that you put in it.
Oh,
somehow.
Really?
Yeah, I barely know anything about that.
No shit.
But I had the Nintendo Fight Stick, the joystick that sat flat and had a big ball-ended joystick and 2 big buttons. Yeah,
the NES, you had that one, huh? No shit.
And there was a Nintendo like joystick that was more of a flight stick with a trigger and a top button. Had one of those.
Oh, and that was NES brand.
Yeah, no clue what you would play that with.
Yeah, we had one of those that was aftermarket because it was fully auto. We thought that was the tits.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then I had the Nintendo Satellite, which was the 4-controller hub, so you could plug 4 controllers in. I think the only thing I ever played with it was Turtles 2, the arcade game.
And that was on NES?
Yeah. And
shit.
And it was the first thing I ever knew that was like wireless, because there was a dongle, a big chunk that you plugged into the front of the Nintendo where the controller ports were, and then that thing could sit a few feet away and would like beam it into the Nintendo. I remember thinking that was magic.
I thought that the whole buy a adapter to have 4 players play was with the Super Nintendo. I didn't know the NES had such an option.
The Nintendo Satellite, it was called.
And that
had turbo on it. You could select turbo A or B.
Ever
or
have
both.
A Game Genie?
I never had one, but definitely had friends come through with a Game Genie.
Yeah, one of my best buddies had one.
You want to break a game and make it unplayable?
Yeah.
You put in too many codes and the game explodes.
Yeah.
I remember having used the Game Genie to beat Dick Tracy because that game's fucking impossible.
Yeah. Is it impossible? Is it a good game that's just hard?
No.
Or is it just wildly
hard
flawed?
And bad.
It's like...
No, it's not broken. It's just hard and bad.
Huh. Isn't it... Silver Surfer, I guess, is one of the most notorious impossible NES games because it was so poorly designed.
Broken.
It's like, I can't turn right and I'm just dead. Why am I dead?
Oh, fun.
And just the game's over. We start again. Good. Fun. This was worth $55 in 1988.
Oof. That's a fucking E.T. Atari situation on your hands.
Yep. My cousin had E.T. and we thought our game was broke. We didn't realize,
everyone did.
Because someone was like, well, this can't be it.
Yep.
There has to be something that's wrong with this.
Yep.
was like, I'd like to see what this game's like if you get it good. It's like, oh, there's no version of it good.
It's out there now. Like you can play, like they've taken all the bugs out and you can play it online.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, if you stumble down the right corner of the internet, you can find an emulator running ET with all the bug fixes in.
All I remember was it'd be walk, fall in a hole.
Yep.
Hit the button, your head expands and you float, land, walk, fall in a hole.
Yep.
Your head, it's like,
you got to collect all 3 pieces of the phone in order to phone home.
Pure trash.
But a lot of times that inflate to get out of the well mechanic didn't work. And if you stayed in one place for too long, the FBI agents would come and grab you, and you would lose all the pieces you've already gained and have to start over again. ET's a fucking mess.
Legit broken game.
Yeah. And then they buried them all in the desert.
Which is what you do with bad technology.
Yep. Or cat turds. Buried it in the sand. So Bart head over heels over Xenia, who's the name of this Russian piano teacher girl. They're gonna trade piano lessons for driving lessons. We get a insane sight gag in the playground where the bullies have the 4 nerds all tied. They have their underwear tied to the monkey bars, and then it's like a ball clicker that would be on a desk, like that momentum,
like
thing.
A perpetual momentum ball clicker thing. Yeah,
that's fun. We keep jumping back and forth between Bart learning piano and the Russian fella learning to drive, and the Russian immediately fucking runs over Ralphie.
Yeah, he's no good at driving.
No, just backs up, crushes a little red wagon that has Ralphie in it,
and he just crawls out.
Yep. Dad always said I was an accident and runs. Like, God damn it, Ralphie, never change. It moves pretty quickly to Bart suddenly being an amazing piano player and like playing at a recital, but it turns out he's faking. The piano player has a CD slot in it. Why not? Yep. A grand piano with a CD drive.
An in-dash CD player.
Yep. That's fun. He just wanted the teacher to be successful and get more clients because he likes her.
Yeah.
You know? And so he decided to fake being good so that she would get more students because he's into her. We get a quick look at Homer being bald at work. And again, I love how like shocked and devastated anyone is who sees that he's bald now. Because he doesn't look different.
Nope.
It's just literally 2 black lines.
Yeah.
But Lenny and Carl like take it hard. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then they run into a bald coworker who we've never met, who is voiced by Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. I'm sure he was in the studio recording American Dad, and they borrowed him for a minute. And he just like tells Homer how great being bald is and how much his wife loves it, and it's going to be great. Don't worry about it, Homer.
Yeah. Press your bald head against her bosom.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you can do that. So now Xenia has lots of students, but she's shunning Bart. Bart is not able to get back into her good graces. She makes him wait outside.
And it's not like she's like just ignoring him. She's got a ton of clients now. He's the old hat, you know. Like, you got to get these new people started.
It's around about now. Well, first, Marge signed up Bart for a talent show to show off what a good piano player he is. And it's about here that we get a warning at the bottom of the screen that Justin Bieber is coming up in 30 seconds. You don't have to watch if you don't want to. Yeah. And then we go to the talent show where Justin Bieber is there and the security guy's like, you're older than 10, get out of here. And Bieber says something and scoffs and walks away. And then it comes up again, another message that says, okay, like there'll be no more Justin Bieber this episode.
Feel free to turn.
Yeah, you can come back if you want or whatever. And it's like, just don't have him on the show if that's a problem.
I'm assuming it was they pushed the shit out of it. And that was the gag. Okay, if you're here just for Justin Bieber, now you can pay attention because he'll come up any second. Then it's over. Yeah. Okay, now you can go about your day.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I thought that was... Also, I read that backwards then because I figured hey, he's going to be on screen in a second. If you want to change the channel, now's the time.
See, I think it's, hey, he's coming now. Your patience is being paid off, and then it's over.
Now,
okay,
as you were.
Yep,
Okay,
exactly. Go
okay.
back to not watching The Simpsons.
So I misread that then, but still weird.
Yep.
It's better your way
Yeah.
or the way, and not the thing I made up. Bart is on stage and he goes to play but fesses up. He fesses up on stage and Marge is pissed. I kind of expected Marge to have the Marge reaction of, oh, sweet boy, it's okay. But nope, she's mad. She's not into it. She's just smashing fucking dinner plates in the kitchen.
Into the dishwasher, if you look.
Yeah.
Pretty sure she's just throwing them hard.
Spiking them into the dishwasher. The Russian guy shows up. He's got his driver's license because he cheated on his exam by just bribing Patty and Selma with his discount Russian denim
his very
jeans.
tight denim.
Explains to Marge that, like, yeah, Bart cheated, but he did it for the right reasons. Maybe don't take it so hard on the boy, which Marge does. He gets into that fucking limo, immediately smashes into Ned's car, and God bless Ned Flanders, comes out and sees his demolished car, and without skipping a beat just goes, ooh, another chance to make a new friend.
Yeah.
I love Ned Flanders and his outlook on life. And then we're in the Simpsons bedroom. Homer shows Marge his bald head, and she loves it, or at least pretends to, and plants one on him, and the hairs grow back, and then
cartoony noise.
And then she like looks, is like, oh, thank God. And that's the end.
I do like the ongoing gag that him without those two hairs is hideous.
Yeah,
but those two hairs, that's fine. He's a typically normal guy.
Like I said, all throughout this episode, how hard everybody takes it and what a big deal they make out of it, when you would have to really look to see that he doesn't have those hairs drawn on.
Ridiculous.
Not my favorite by any means.
Definitely a step down from the prior one.
Agreed. And I think, like, looking ahead, a week one of this batch, but fine.
Yeah.
I think this was their Sweet Mother's Day one, if I'm not mistaken.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so, but it was all right.
We are up to episode 21, Saga of Carl. It's one of these ones where the episode starts with something that really has nothing to do. Because I was like, how are they? Because it's not just 20 seconds of them watching a funny TV show.
Right.
It's Lisa and Bart are obsessed with something called Kia Karate Monsters. Kia Karate Monsters.
That's what you say. Kia.
And they are, as little kids are, running around screaming, karate chop and everything. And Marge has had enough because there's Kia Karate Monsters are all over the fucking the world, every cultural thing. So finally, she's like, I'm going to take you somewhere where there's no fun at all. The museum.
Yeah.
By God, what are they having that week at the museum? A Kia Karate Monster retrospective.
Yeah, the science of Kia Karate Monsters, because it's a science museum. Do you think this is Ninja Turtles? Like what? Or
there's something
it
more...
may not be anything specific, frankly, because the show is the Universal Monsters doing
into karate,
martial arts. Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know if they're really... It might just be an amalgamation of a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of ties in because it goes over the odds. They go to, there's one thing that's not about the Karate Monsters. They see that it's basically just how math works and how odds are calculated.
Probability,
If you knew the probability of this, you wouldn't do this and shit like that. And basically, it makes fun of how ridiculous lottery tickets are.
Yeah.
And then cut to Homer
It's
walking.
a long road to us getting to them playing the lottery. Yeah.
So it cuts to Homer excitedly walking into Moe's with their lottery ticket, which I think the vibe is they've been buying. This has been a weekly thing for a long time.
Which I like.
Yeah.
I like that these four guys each pick a number and they play the lottery together.
Who has 69? Is that Homer?
Yes.
Yep.
But he's like, because everyone giggles when you say it, but nobody knows why. It's like, I think maybe Homer's the only one who doesn't know why.
Yeah, you're a grown man at this point. So they're watching as you do. It's all announced. Maybe now it's not even announced on TV. Maybe it's just all online, the lottery numbers.
These days?
Yeah, who knows?
I have no idea. I don't play. I'll occasionally get a scratcher if I'm like feeling saucy that day.
I've bought one Powerball ticket. That's all I've ever bought.
I have like thrown in when I worked in an office,
I
and
might
we're
have
gonna
done that
buy
a
couple hundred of these things. Never fucking goes anywhere.
Right in
I'm
the
here.
trash.
I'm in a La Quinta.
Yeah,
I
right.
haven't won
You
the
did not
lottery.
win the Powerball.
Right.
Worth $500 million.
The last time I just on a whim decided to play a scratcher was probably 6 months ago, and I won $10.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, on a $2 ticket.
Oh,
so
Christ.
I'm
We
fucking.
just quantify that out far enough, you're independently wealthy.
Yeah, by that logic, I should just keep buying them.
Instead of buying one for 10, you could buy 10 for 100.
Yeah,
Or you could buy 100 for 1,000.
exactly. I'll just
go.
keep letting it ride.
Yeah, because that's how it works.
That's how ROI works. I know business. I know business is.
I would like to have a trucker hat with your face looking stern on it with "I know business" above it. Look how serious this man is. You think he's lying?
No, of course not.
So they buy their ticket. They're sitting around as they always do. God damn it! If they don't win, $200K.
Yeah.
That sound right?
Yep.
So they get $200K, and they are fucking jazzed, as one should be. That's a nice little fucking windfall to get upon yourself. So they end up having a party at Moe's to celebrate. They order mini dumpsters of chicken wings from Trash Wing, or what is it called?
Garbage wings.
Garbage wings, yeah. And goddamn, if every table doesn't have a little dumpster on wheels.
Just a tiny dumpster full of chicken wings.
Yeah. And what is it, Moe's? I'll get us some beer to celebrate. It's like, well, dude, you own a bar. It's like, this
is not beer.
I can't think of what he says it is, but it's a combination of mop water and a poison. I think.
Gasoline, I think. Yeah.
So it's like, I'll get us actual beer. So they're having the time of their life. And Carl was in charge of cashing out the ticket. Like, oh, especially Lenny. Oh, good old Carl will be here any minute. And we get it's a little later. Crowd's getting smaller. Now it's just Barney passed out on the ground.
Yeah.
And then surprised he's not in on the lotto ticket.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
Well, Barney's barely in this show anymore.
So weird. And then it's finally Moe is the one who's the realist. Homer's just kind of, I don't know. And then but Moe's like,
and Lenny is like completely
it's gonna be. We're all gonna have a good laugh when we find out what happened. Moe's like, are you kidding me? He's stolen all of our money. So that's kind of where this episode goes. It's kind of like almost like a revenge tale. Like they've been wronged and they want to get to the bottom of it.
Hunting him down.
So eventually they go to Carl's apartment, which I love. If you look on the wall, there's a framed picture of just his face.
Yep. Just Carl.
Because we have the other one that Lenny has where Carl's looking cool with his shades.
Yep.
But there's one of just him looking forward. What an awesome
just
thing.
Flatly expressionless.
What a great thing. Carl Carlson.
Yep.
Am I right? Yep.
God, that's what you need for your new house. Just a photo of your face.
Just me staring forward.
Like with no expression, like a license photo.
Yeah. And at Carl's place, he's gone. This is the apartment of someone that doesn't plan on coming back anytime soon.
Yep.
So they are completely without any leads. Goddamn Junior Detective Lisa gets involved, does a little digging around, finds out, goddamn, if Carl ain't from Iceland, which did not see that coming.
Nope, not at all.
They fly. I hope it was a direct flight from Springfield or Reykjavik. There we go. I hope that was a direct flight.
I bet that's a long flight.
Oh my God. I don't think anything compared to you've taken a trans-Pacific flight before.
Yeah.
I know Pacific's way bigger than Atlantic, but I bet it ain't fun.
No, probably not. Flying is never fun, no matter what. But
you bring a Nerf football, get in the aisles. I'm sure they don't frown on that.
You'll get tased if you play Nerf football in the aisles.
It's too easy to defend. You can only run out routes. The emergency aisles, you could do get
a little hook in there. Yeah. I would like to visit Reykjavik. That's always been on my list of that'd probably be a fun one.
It's so geographically weird.
Yep.
All the steam shooting out of shit.
Yeah, and it's culturally weird.
Glaciers.
Yeah,
weirdly tiny.
Yeah, and weirdly sparse. There's 45 people who live in Iceland. I think that'd be fun.
So the three of them make their way to Iceland to try to figure out what's going on. When they're getting ready, pack a suitcase. Mo packs all of his belongings into a fucking used paint can.
Yep. And hammers it shut.
Such a great way to...
That's insane.
Sitting on a plane, holding a dirty paint can with his belongings in it.
And at one point on the plane, like, opens the can and takes his headphones out. Like, unbelievable. Like, that's like, it would have been funny if it was a trash bag, but it's extremely funny that it's a paint can.
Good. That's good writing.
Yeah.
After just doing a little, hey, man on the street, find some people, polite Icelandic person explains, they're the most hated family, the Carlsons. So no one likes them in the city or in the country. So they find out where they live. They stake out the house. While they're finally in the morning, Carl leaves. Now we have a high-speed chase. We get some good music during this episode, full of good. It's a lot of Sigur Rós. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yes,
all the good music is all
how
that.
You pronounce it.
Yeah, all that good ice. The only Bjork.
Bjork,
Jesus, they're not even the biggest band out of Iceland.
No, they're not. Good music though. You are right. All through this episode, you ever take a Bjork deep dive?
Nah, I love the greatest hits.
There are people in this world who will tell you that Bjork is
their favorite artist.
And I bet I've heard one Bjork song.
Oh no shit. Oh no, I had her greatest hits. She released an album, I think in the early aughts, that all of the sound is created by the human voice. And I mean, it's so intricate. Okay. I mean, you have a million, or not a million, but like 50 people making weird guttural sounds. It sounds like an insane bass guitar and shit. Like,
okay.
I mean, do I need to listen to it all the time? But it's fucking interesting.
Yeah,
like,
that's an interesting little, what's the word I'm looking for? Novelty.
Yeah.
That's fun.
They finally catch up to Carl. He eventually gets out of his car and they get him on foot. They take him to, what would you say, a diner?
Sure.
Yeah, an Icelandic diner.
Which I like that they take a few jabs at Icelandic food, because Iceland is like notorious for, oh God, that's what you're eating.
Like, let's bury a fish and dig it up in 6 months.
Yeah.
Call it you're right, because they have all this weird, it's all on like finger foods.
It's all on toothpicks.
That's what if you just watch in the background, Homer keeps eating it.
Yeah.
And just, like freezing because he realizes it's poison. Yeah. And just casually leans over and spits it out somewhere.
But then takes another piece. Yeah. That's fun.
The compulsion is real.
I think they bring up like, oh, you don't want this shark fin that's fermented in its own urine. It's like, Jesus. But I know that there's a lot of like strange fermented and pickled fish things in Icelandic cuisine.
Yeah. It's a tough place to grow things. Some of the sun's up a lot.
Yeah, that's true. And you got to make stuff last.
So after being pressed by why he took it, he explains that his family's history and they've been hated for something that happened in the barbarian days. But him and his family are the belief this is not properly reflected in the history books. And he wants all that money to buy this missing piece of some kind of Icelandic saga.
Yeah.
That's how they're gonna, that's how we'll clear our family's name.
Yep. And because the Carlsons, like in Icelandic history as they know it, the Carlsons were supposed to defend Iceland from the hordes, and they fucked up and they didn't.
Yeah. And so especially Lenny's like, well, hey man, you could have just told us that. You didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we're your friends. And fucking Lenny's like, no, you're not.
Carl.
It's like, that was like, what? We're getting pretty jaded in our Simpsons watching. We're pretty like, Jesus, Carl, what? Like, and it was done well. Like, it's not played for laughs at that point. It's like, what is going on right now? Like, is it we're just four guys that sit in a bar. You don't even know I'm from Iceland. You know, like this, and that's like, wow. Like
it's a shot. Yeah. It's a heavy one.
And when it finally dawns on Lenny, what he's saying, when Lenny snaps and like jumps over the table and attacks him, Mo has a line. It's like, uh-oh, when the nice ones snap, it's always a good show.
Yeah, like
because Lenny is getting after it.
God damn it, Mo.
Really kicking the shit out of Carl.
Mo's like half excited that he's gonna get.
But also, like, it's not even a big deal. He's jaded. Like, this will be fun to watch. Like. And ends up spilling out into the street, and they finally get the suitcase out of Carl's hands. They open it. He's already spent the money on the page.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, how could you have done this? And he's like, because you're not my friends. And they're like, fuck you, dude. And they take it, which I can't blame them. Like, that's our money, man. Like,
Yeah.
So like, okay, fuck you. They take, and he's all, beside himself now. I was like, well, you can't. Like, I worked so hard to get this and whatever. And they're like, nope. And I think they're back wherever hotel they have. They're taking some kind of touristy thing before they go. And they do a Skype with Marge.
Yeah.
They're in something because they're outdoors, but they're riding in something.
Right. Like a double-decker bus kind of thing. Yeah.
And she's like, despite what he says, he's still your friend and this and that. And it's like, what you should do is you should return it. And then I think she has the idea, no, what you should do is decipher it for him. And it's like, how the hell are we going to learn ancient Icelandic? Like, I can't imagine regular modern Icelandic's easy. And can you think of the name of the pills? Is it just, it's Adderall?
Yeah,
it's like
supposed
Wonderall.
to be Adderall, but it's Study All or whatever it's called. Yeah,
because Mo's got him, and fucking Mo says something about the doctor gives me to help me work. He says I shouldn't sleep at all. Like the idea of Mo's intrusive thoughts. It's just better to stay fucking meth out of your tits so you don't think. You're just always busybodying.
Oh, God.
Fucking Mo is such a good character on this show.
I adore Mo.
Yeah. So that's what they do. They just bust their ass. They're doing fucking flashcard drills.
Just learning Icelandic.
That's goddamn it if they don't. They learn, they decipher it all. And turns out the story about the Carlsons isn't true. It's worse than they expected.
Yep.
Like, they weren't just cowards. They were actively helping the barbarians.
Yep.
They were selling out their own people for riches. So they're like, holy shit, we can't tell Carl this. This will destroy him. And I think Mo is still kind of well, screw him, but I think it's Lenny who's got a heart of gold.
No, Lenny does.
The most betrayed of these guys is the one that's like, what we can do. And I think you kind of get we don't see them discuss it. And then what kind of event are they at when they they're on the roof of say, hey everyone, we got something to say. I
think they just call a meeting, and that's the joke is there's so few people there that they all come. Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, we got something to say about this and about the Carlsons. And there's boo.
And there's a fun joke where they're like, I think it's Mo's is everybody here? Yeah. And the one guy in the crowd goes, no. And just a man walks into frame and stands in the crowd. And he's like, okay, yeah. That's very funny.
And he's like, I know you guys have some thoughts about the Carlson family. And I think Carl kind of assumed, maybe they were nice enough to figure out what that said, and they're going to exonerate my family. But nope, they just speak the virtues of Carl. Yeah, he helps you do this. He helped me move. He did this. He did that. And how could a family that produced such a wonderful son not be a good group of people? Yeah. And the people are okay, whatever. They accept it. But that ain't. That's not the crux of the story. Now it's them four getting back together again, and I think actually it's Carl's father that kind of chastises him. It's like, can you tell me these people aren't your friends? Yeah. And Carl has a change of heart and they embrace. And again, the music was so good in so many of these spots. And the one thing I'm forgetting to mention is the whole time, the rest of the Simpson family assumed that once they get their hands on that money, they're going to get a pool. Yeah. Because anytime they video them, they have water wings and the pool noodles and stuff like that. And since they don't have the money, since the money was spent on that piece of paper, Homer surprises them with keg pools. Keg pools. Yep. Yeah.
Just cut kegs in half the long way and fill them with water.
Which for Maggie was fine. Maggie's doing laps.
I like that the kids are excited. Yeah, right? They're like, yay, keg pools. Because they could easily be shitty.
Yeah, it's like, what is this?
But no, they're excited. Yeah.
So now the hatchet's been buried. And then it cuts. There's a nice scene where they're all back in the bar talking about nothing. Yeah. So this was an incredibly good episode.
Loved this episode. This is a big fan. Yeah. Probably my favorite of the batch.
Oh, by
even
far
more so than that Mo one. I really like that Mo one, but a fucking season 24 backstory of Carl episode, and he's Icelandic. What?
And he turns out he doesn't even think of these guys as his friends.
Right. A lot of revelations
wild, yeah.
in this episode.
And the music was so good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Like, we get that one long montage of the music playing and like them in the bar, and then it just like jump cuts to them doing something else, and they're never doing anything. They're just like standing and not talking or anything, and it runs a long time. Like, that was fun. I thought maybe that was referencing a music video that I wasn't aware of, and maybe it is. Who knows? But I liked it. And then I also really like, there's an insane joke right after they realize that Carl has left. And those three, Homer, Lenny, and Mo, are back at the bar auditioning for a new Carl. And it's Lou the cop. Yeah. And he's standing there and they're all looking at him. And he's just like, guys, this is really racist, and walks out, and on his way out the door runs into Dr. Hibbert, who's next in line to be the new Carl. I was like, that's fun. That's a fun joke.
Yeah, and he's like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. I love Lou's voice.
We haven't had a lot of Lou lately.
No.
A very, very good episode.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Episode 22, the finale of season 24, is Dangers on a Train. We are having a flashback to 9 years ago, the Simpsons having their first wedding anniversary. And they're at a mall, and the mall is thriving because it's 9 years ago. And they go on this like train ride, a kiddie train. That's apparently a thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
They go on a fun train ride, but it's romantic, and Ned is watching Bart, which is fun. So they have this romantic anniversary.
Is it the Lil Lisa Express?
The Lil Lisa, yeah. And then we cut to present day, where the mall is in shambles. I thought that was fun. I also like Homer's like explaining, and I'm going to recreate that day, and it's going to be the perfect anniversary present to your mom. And Lisa's immediate response is, you named me after a train? Yeah. Like, that's the thing she stuck on in the whole story. And Homer's like, yeah, of course we did. Same as we did with Bart. Yeah. And that's it. You don't get any more elaboration on that.
I think we get a little elaboration in a previous episode, don't we?
Oh, I have no idea.
Because it's Bart, it's like the Bay Area, whatever. Like, it's like one of the major cities, like mass transit's called
it's San Francisco's. Yeah. Oh, maybe. Okay. All right. I don't really remember that. I don't remember a lot of things. And including the mall being in shambles, the train is being torn down by Pally.
Yeah. Hey, Pally.
I don't know that that's his name, but it is in my notes. And Homer's like, but you can't tear the train down. I got to do this thing. And he's like, well, you can just take it. Yeah. So he does. Homer just takes the fucking mall train. Meanwhile, back at the house, Marge is with Patty and Selma, and she's ordering cupcakes because they're Homer's favorite, but she accidentally orders them from Sassy Madison.
Instead of Dolly Madison.
You
think Dolly Madison has a website you can order from? That's gas station trash cupcakes.
Boy, I hope they don't. Yeah. Because I would be at home ordering Dolly Madison right
sad
now.
All of a sudden. Get a 12er of donuts.
Dolly Madison, I'm trying to envision, what is a Dolly Madison product?
Well, Dolly Madison and Hostess at some point in time they're all Hostess now.
Okay.
Like a Zinger.
Sure. God, I love a Zinger.
Twinkie.
Take or leave.
Yeah. Twinkie's an inferior Zinger.
Agreed.
The little gems, you get the chocolate or the white.
I love them. The crunchy. The crunchy.
There's the crunchy crunch ones.
Yeah.
I never dabbled in them. Mm-hmm. They're worth the shit, huh?
They got shredded coconut on them.
Oh, you do like to go. Thing. You're a man who likes to go coconuts.
Yeah, I am a I am a coconut boy. Yep.
I'm a chocolate Zinger, the vanilla yellow Zingers.
The yellow Zinger is my favorite.
And you get the 2 double cupcake option.
Oh yeah, the ding dongs? Not a ding dong.
I can't. I think they just call them a cupcake.
Okay. Yeah, the little round chocolate cupcakes.
I think with the mixing with Hostess, they also have like the apple pies, like the
those
cherry
little
filled
fried pies. Yep. God, I love those fucking things. Those are I think I read once that statistically that is the worst thing for you in the gas station. Is that like the number of calories
lack
versus
of nutrients.
the lack of nutrients versus the size? Like I think ounce for ounce, that is the worst thing for you in the gas station.
I wonder how close those are to like being detrimental to your body as like crystal meth.
Oh yeah,
like 2.5 apple pies is one meth binge.
Like if I did nothing but one or the other for 30 days, which would kill me quicker.
Which would be harder on me.
Yeah, because if you think of those, like now that I'm thinking about it, you eat one of them little fried pies, your teeth hurt.
Yeah,
they're so sweet.
Yeah, the cherry shit too. Like
yeah, the lemon is my banger of those,
fuck,
or a blackberry. I like the lemon or the blackberry. I skip right over the cherry and apple.
You got a special order, the blackberry.
I haven't seen a blackberry out in the wild in a long time. A blackberry pie. I eat blackberries all the time.
I think there's a chocolate one that basically just has a chocolate pudding in it.
I'm not a fan of that one either, but like I haven't seen a fucking blackberry pie or a lemon pie out in the wild in so long, and I don't really give a shit about the apple or the cherry, so I haven't had one of those in quite a while.
I think the lemon pie is still out there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I'll always give it a glance. I'll give that rack a glance. Yeah. And it's like I think but I can feel it in my mouth right now as we're talking about it. Yep,
like not
poison.
in a good way.
Yep.
Like I can feel like those glands in back behind your back teeth going,
That's too sweet.
We know how that feels.
I have to work overtime.
It's so sweet it burns.
Yeah.
You're better off drinking corn syrup.
Yeah. Good for you.
So Homer takes this train home to fix it up. Marge fucked up with the cupcake order. Now she's on Sassy Madison, which is their Ashley Madison.
Yeah.
Not something I had thought of in a long time, but this would have been around the time.
Yeah. I mean, it was big enough. They were having TV ads. Like Ashley Madison was a thing.
Hey, you want to cheat?
Yeah. What a wild life
What
world we live in.
Insane time to be alive.
Yeah.
And now she accidentally logged all her information on there, so now she's getting requests from all the fucking unhappily married men in town, or single guys. They're single or unhappily married. One of who is a poo.
Yep, troublesome.
I saw that right away, and I'm like, wait a minute. The last few times we've seen a poo and Nanjula in public, they're usually fighting. Like it's not going well, I don't think, between those two. That's sad.
Yep. Yeah, they are often bickering and fighting.
Yes.
8 fucking kids will do that to you.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't want 8 kids ever.
2.
No. 0. I would rather have 8 cats than 2 kids.
Got that cat to kid ratio.
Yep.
Okay. 30 cats that you have to take care of.
Okay.
Or 1 kid.
In my home, the cats, not the kid.
Yeah.
Like, no, I just got him in a storage unit. Slip him a bowl of water every once in a while.
Oh, living with 30 cats would be such a nightmare.
I would take the cats. Like, you can't come up with a high enough cat number to get me to choose 1 kid.
1 real rambunctious orangutan. So you have to like take courses on
An orangutan will kill you.
Yeah, so you got to set up bars. So you got to have a big portion of your house that's going to be blocked off. You have to hire guys to come scoop the shit up.
But now we're getting into financial infeasibility.
Yeah, that still might be cheaper than a kid.
Yeah, that's shit.
That's insane.
That's true. Yeah. Like in this fake scenario, does money not exist?
I don't know if it'd be that. The initial investment of, you know what? You buy 1 fucking funny romper for an orangutan, you're done clothes shopping. You're going to spend $500,000 on clothes for that kid as it grows over the years.
Also, like I can build a cage for the orangutan outside and huck bananas at it and never have to get within arm's reach. Because I don't know if you saw the video that showed up a week or 2 ago.
Grabbing that guy
by the t-shirt and dragging him to the cage. Like,
one time he's like parallel. His body is parallel.
And it's just holding his fucking leg. I'm like, no. But I can huck a banana.
Yeah.
I can throw a banana to an orangutan.
Yeah.
I would rather have 1 rambunctious orangutan than a child. Yes. You're right.
Explaining that to your neighbors. I don't even care for orangutans, but you know.
That's the thing. I don't. People who have pet monkeys, I think, are weird
Insane.
and gross.
Yep. Both adjectives I could stand by 100%. It's so weird and creepy.
Like, I was never a watcher of the show, but I remember when Ross got a monkey on Friends, I remember thinking, I'd rather be dead than have this monkey.
So sick. This little weird, hairy, gross humanoid
Wearing a
thing.
diaper.
Shitting.
No, disgusting.
No, screaming at you? Like looking you in the eyes and screaming at you. That's the devil.
To be fair, a child does that too.
Yeah. That's true too. Yeah.
And a child is the devil. So we're right all around.
At least eventually a kid can talk. That monkey's just going to be screaming at you till it's elderly.
Yeah, and you know what that kid's going to do once it talks? Say mean shit to you, because kids are horrible.
Oh, I think with my gentle touch of raising children, those kids would be delightful.
Well, bring them by my orangutan cage anytime. They can hunt bananas.
Boy, that's as a kid I would have got a kick out of.
Yeah, you would have.
You're just flinging bananas. Look at him trying to grab them.
Look at him. Oh, he's good at catching.
Throw him just short of the cage. He's going to try and reach him. Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Get in the house.
Oh, my God. Like, my neighbors in the trailer park used to have two. They claimed they were half wolf, half Siberian husky. Those are big fucking dogs. They were in too small of a cage. And me and my cousin, if we were bored, would just whip pine cones at them, because if you got them riled up, you could see the white in their teeth, that look pretty cool because they're like wolf mouths. And if that fucking flimsy cage, one fucking wing nut comes unscrewed by the pressure of them, that cage is done. And we are literally consumed by those dogs. The hatred they had. And they weren't throwing them hard, but it was just enough to add. They were already angry dogs.
Sure.
They were in too small of a cage. It was hotter than balls. They're not supposed to be in this kind of weather.
But you're not helping.
Just a lazy, Jesus, that's a fucking Rockwell painting for you. Two lazy fucking kids just lazily hucking pine cones at two fucking tortured dogs. Trailer park living.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Then my mama complained about him barking all the time. It's like, I think I got something to do with that.
You for sure didn't say that.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I don't know why they're so aggravated.
Yeah, they're mean. They're mean dogs.
Just trying to be nice. The idea of trying to pet one of those is the idea of trying to unscrew a blender bolt while it's running. Like, you'd have a better chance. Okay, gently.
Easy.
Those dogs hated people.
Oh, God. So Marge has all these fucking lover requests from all these losers. She lets them all down easy. And then Homer comes in and she's like, oh, I ordered your anniversary present today. And Homer is so scared that he's going to let out the secret that he's rebuilding this train for her that he pretends to have forgotten their anniversary, which makes Marge furious.
Yeah.
And this is the rare episode where Homer is doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And Marge sucks.
My note was Marge is going to feel like a real asshole when all this episode comes together.
I had that going too. Like, not only is Homer not doing anything wrong, he's fucking
knocking it out of the park.
Big dick out of the park.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And I was thinking, are they going to take the coward's way out and make Homer fuck this all up in the end? But they didn't.
No. So Marge, pissed that he seemingly forgot about the anniversary, strikes up a conversation with one of these guys on the fuck site. That guy, by the way, played by
Will Parnell.
Who?
Will Parnell?
No,
Really?
Seth MacFarlane.
Okay, you're right.
I didn't recognize it until afterwards.
Once you say it, though, that adds up.
And I was like, who was that? But yeah, it's Seth MacFarlane. Looking back, I should have guessed it during the lounge singing part of this episode.
Good call. Yep.
So she strikes up a conversation with this dude and then runs into him at Swapper Jack's, which is their Trader Joe's that we've seen before. I love that Maggie not into this.
Yep, loved that.
Maggie does not. She's got her angry eyebrows on, throws an apple at him, sprays a red A on his chest with ketchup.
Yeah.
Good for Maggie.
Yeah.
You stay away from my mom.
Riled up. Yeah. That was perhaps the funniest part of this episode.
Agreed. Marge just kind of keeps going along with things because she doesn't want to be rude or like she doesn't seem like she wants to fuck this guy.
Yeah.
But
it's really weird.
But she keeps talking to him. Yeah. She has coffee with him. All the while, we get Homer fixing the train. I love the little detail that they've recruited Reverend Lovejoy.
Because he's a train guy.
Because he's a train guy and knows how to help fix a train.
Another little background thing. I think it might be either they're having coffee or just chit-chatting in the grocery store. Reverend Lovejoy is just, blind to the world, pushing his cart of groceries. Mrs. Lovejoy is sitting in the cart, peering over the edge at those two as they're talking.
Yep, gossip queen Mrs. Lovejoy is staring at Marge and what's his name? I genuinely don't remember his name.
No.
So she has coffee with him while Homer fixes the train. He and Marge are both into Upton Rectory, which is their fake Downton Abbey, which I've never seen. You ever get into that show?
It looks like something I would despise.
Yeah, I never once had the desire. But weird that this fucking melodramatic British period piece on public television became this enormous hit.
Like one of the most talked about shows for a hot minute.
Yeah, I think that's good for them.
Yeah.
Ben is this guy's name. Ben can't watch the finale because his wife is watching the TV. So Marge Skypes with him in bed, does like a video chat and just lays the computer so he can see the screen.
Yeah.
And they watch the Upton, Upton Rectory finale together. And he keeps like pushing this was fun. Maybe we could do something in person. And she slams the laptop shut. It's like, why are you even talking to the fucking guy then?
Right.
Because that's what he wants.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Yeah.
Marge sucks in this episode.
Yep. There's a good gag, or she slams it. He's like, I can still hear you. And then she puts it in the nightstand. I can still hear it. She just takes a framed picture of Homer and shoves it into the laptop and then shuts it off.
Yeah.
He's just screaming in agony.
It's the day of the anniversary. Marge wakes up. She gets a fun, dumb present from the kids. And then Homer comes out of the bathroom writhing in pain because he threw his back out.
Yeah.
And he's got to lay down. And Marge, can you go get these this prescription refilled? Just as a way to get her out of the house, obviously.
Yeah.
But she's pissed. Again.
Yeah.
She's mad because I gotta go get a prescription refilled on our anniversary. It's like, yeah, man, life still happens even on special days. I have gotten a flat tire on my birthday. That happens.
Marge is being a real dud.
Oh, not a fan this time around, but she's pissed. And she drives to go get the thing refilled, and then Homer is like, okay, guys, let's do it. And they start setting up the train tracks and getting the train out of there, getting that all ready for when she's back. She keeps thinking about Ben and stuffing it down, and eventually goes home, sees the finished train, and wouldn't you know, fucking loves it. Oh my God, this is so great. It's the best anniversary ever. It's like, yeah, don't you feel bad about the shit you've been up to the last few days? I feel like Marge didn't get her comeuppance in this episode, and that bothered me. It's not enough that she was wrong. She should have had to pay for that somehow. And then fucking Ben and his wife Ramona show up because, and Ben's like, I should have known when you asked what's her name and address that you would go to try to confront her. So they show up. She's played by Lisa Lampanelli.
Oh, really? I figured it had to be somebody.
And Marge gives them a fucking Marge speech, and that's kind of the end of the episode.
Yeah.
We get a fun little visual gag of Simpson Abbey or Simpton Abbey of what I assume is the intro to Downton Abbey, but with Simpson stuff. I don't know. And then I don't remember the Ashley Madison animated ads. Maybe
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. Maybe if I remembered them, this bit would land a little better. But it's just in
stop motion, kind of
just real herky jerky bad animation of The Simpsons, and that wraps it up.
Fine episode.
Not my maybe my least favorite of the bunch. Well, it's down there. I didn't care for this one.
I just kind of like the swerve of Marge being absolutely in the wrong and Homer kind of being the good guy, because that's so rare. Other than that, though, Jesus.
But like she was really in the wrong,
Yeah.
so much so that it was like frustrating.
Yeah.
I was like, God dang it.
And then in a Homer fashion, he's not mad at her.
Yeah.
Because as someone who gets in trouble all the time, I guess you have to pick and choose when you're going to be mad.
And then I thought her comeuppance would be when that dude and his wife show up. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
No, she just like gives a Marge speech.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it.
And we're now bursting through the walls of season 25. New season, new us.
Is it a new us?
That's oof.
You gonna go change? Did
Yeah,
you
right.
bring
Yeah,
a wardrobe
my
swap?
season 25 romper.
You gonna Reba this and go put on a different outfit?
Zipper up the back. As for The Simpsons season 25, we're looking at the fall of 13 now, I think.
Okay.
See, the years are blending together, so I have no hot takes on what I was up to.
Yeah, 13. Not really anything.
Working a job I don't like. Probably. That's always a safe assumption.
I think I'm still enjoying the strip club, but maybe not. Maybe the blooms come off the rose by this point. Because I'd have started there super late 2010. I bet it's gone by this point, actually.
Not as magical as it once was.
Yeah, it turned into just a job.
Titty glitter's just glitter. It can be bought at any party supply store. It's not magic.
I've seen too many titties at this point. Nothing does it anymore.
So as far as The Simpsons, again, spoiler alert, they're on Sunday nights. So not a whole lot new. We did get a couple things that were added. I don't even remember this. I remember these shows a lot because they showed ads during football.
Sure.
But there was a blink and you miss it Army-based sitcom called Enlisted.
No idea.
None of the names I recognize. That was a holy moly, 10 episodes in a cloud of dust.
Huh. Yeah, never heard of it.
The one more noteworthy thing, because they pushed the shit out of this, and this is an example of Seth MacFarlane having all sorts of power at Fox. This is when we got the show The Cosmos. That like science show, that Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, the Neil deGrasse Tyson version of Cosmos.
They brought back Cosmos. They pushed the hell out of it.
Because that was a Carl Sagan show?
Back in the 70s, I think. Yeah. And I mean, cool thing to have on TV, like cool stuff to learn about. But like, I think they maybe got 1, maybe 2 seasons of it.
That seems like something that would thrive better on a Netflix than on actual television.
Yep. So you can hunt down and not just, okay, I got to be home at 7 p.m. on a Sunday.
Right.
So like, as for shows that were like big around that time, it's weird. We're getting new enough now where the big shows that debuted, some of them are still on the air.
Oh, really?
This is a big year for popular shows. We had the Goldbergs, which just wrapped up like a 9-year run.
Yep.
Mom, which was on the air for like 7-8 years. I don't
know what that is.
Oh, I can't think of her name. The blonde actress from the Scary Movie franchise. Anna Faris.
Yes, Anna Faris.
And it's her and her mother have to live. They're both recovering alcoholics, and they live together. And they go to AA meetings, and it's written by the same guy that does like 2.5 Men, and like that kind of real base, gross out humor.
Sure.
But I mean, it was fucking successful, like a lot of that guy's shit is.
Yeah.
And then a show called The Blacklist.
With Christ, was the voice of Ultron.
Married to a woman from Fargo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Something Spade?
Spader. Something Spader.
James Spader.
James Spader. There we go. We got there.
Oh, God. I thought I was going to get a nosebleed.
Yeah. Apparently still on the air, like 10 or 11 seasons.
The Blacklist is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Unless my Wikipedia research did me dirty.
I remember that show really getting pushed. Like, I remember I've seen lots of commercials for that show
NBC,
around the time. Yep, NBC.
And another show that I believe has jumped networks but is still on the air, Brooklyn Nine-Nine debuted all the way back.
Have you ever watched that show?
Handful of them. I enjoyed it.
I never have, and I keep being told I should.
I get why people like it. It's funny.
I'm kind of ho-hum on Andy Samberg a lot of times. I'm never like, oh, God, he's in this, but he just doesn't always do it for me.
Yeah. But it's fine. I wouldn't rush out to like buy it on Blu-ray, but
I like who's the woman on that dark hair. Is it Chelsea Peretti?
Yep, there you go.
Comic?
Peretti something. Yep.
She's funny.
Shows that left the air, you're wondering?
I am.
Something called Private Practice, which is one of those law shows that was on forever. This one, CSI New York.
Gary Sinise.
As far as I know, it was the third most successful.
Because there was CSI, or I'm sorry.
CSI.
Yes, CSI.
CSI Miami.
Yep.
And CSI New York.
Yep.
So that is the third of the batch. Ran for 9 effing seasons.
Jesus.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was Gary Sinise's one. I never watched it. I've seen a handful of episodes of CSI Miami and nothing else.
Okay, yeah.
I think they eventually had a fourth CSI that was like
Wichita.
CSI. No, I think it was even more ridiculous. I think it's like CSI the Internet or something.
Really?
Like that's not what it's called, but it's
web
like
crimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's CSI but web crimes. They're gonna run out of Who songs to use for their intros.
He's Pinball Wizard. This doesn't fit.
This doesn't fit at all. That deaf dumb blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. One of precious few Who songs I like.
That's an outrageous take.
I don't like the Who.
I enjoy the Who, but that's for another podcast.
I don't like the Who or the Guess Who. I like Doctor Who.
Yeah. Of all the Who's.
Yep.
That's the one you go with?
Yep.
Fascinating. Other shows that left the air, Gossip Girl. I don't know much about it, but it was popular. That was for young gals.
I just the only connection I have to Gossip Girl is I remember when I saw Sin City and that was the first time I ever saw Alexis Bledel, I think her name is, and being like, who is that? And everyone being like, yeah, man, she's from Gossip Girl.
She's from Gilmore Girls.
Oh, never mind.
Yep.
You can disregard that story, I guess.
You know, I could have broke that more gently. You know?
No, I like that you shut it down.
I didn't want you to wax about how you went and bought all the box sets of Gossip Girl and struggled in vain. Maybe she wore lots of makeup.
Bledel show up?
They're really hiding the lead with this one. 2 shows that a lot of people our age really cream their jeans over. The Office.
Fuck it.
And 30 Rock.
I love 30
Both left the air after this was the first year they hadn't been on the air in a while.
30 Rock is very good. The Office is not. We know how I feel about The Office.
Yeah. I've never watched either enough to have a real hot take on them.
30 Rock is genuinely very good. I think you'd like it a lot. Tina Fey and Alec Baldwin in particular are outstanding on that show.
Tina Fey's got a good track record for funny.
She's very funny.
One show, I thought this was interesting. Maybe for the first time, we've seen a crack in the Seth MacFarlane armor. This is around the time when the Cleveland show was canceled.
Oh, was canceled. Okay. We get a Cleveland show reference at the end of this episode.
Did I miss it?
Might have.
Yeah. Maybe because they're reflecting on the fact that it's gone now, perhaps. So, yeah, that
show did not last long. That was like 2 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Like
maybe
that
it wasn't even canceled. Maybe it was just Seth MacFarlane like, this is too much. I got too much on my
maybe
plate.
That's it.
Yeah.
They sure bag on Cleveland on Family Guy after he comes back about how his show was canceled. So like maybe it was actually canceled. I don't know.
But this is the thing. I always like to read a little on The Simpsons, what happens in this upcoming season. Not a lot of drama. That's not like, a handful of seasons ago where the fucking show almost got canceled.
Yeah, not like, Hank Azaria killed a guy.
But I didn't know if I should reveal this now or when the episode comes up. This is the last season we have.
Okay.
With Edna Krabappel.
What?
Her voice actress dies during this season.
What?
Yeah. So drinking the Edna episodes were almost gone. I didn't want to find out how they write her out or if there's an actual final Edna episode, but that's a real kick in the breadbasket.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Not our Edna.
One of my favorite aspects of The Simpsons.
Oh God, do you think they write her out or just replace the voice actress?
I don't even know.
Oh God. Nobody tell us. I want to know.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Oh no.
Yeah. So what is going to happen? Because you look at what happened to Ned's first wife, pretty much she comes back in ghost form.
Right.
So, yeah. So.
Oh, boy.
Right.
I don't even know if I can go on.
So we're going to pause everything right now. We're going to give you a second. If you got a scream therapy, just go thrash in the hallways of the hotel. No, Edna.
Go jump fully clothed into the pool.
Drink too much pool water, Edna. My eyes are stinging, Edna. Just crashing into an ice machine. Oh, no.
Sir.
Call animal control.
Oh, boy.
Yep. Wasn't that a kick in the biscuits? Yeah. I was like, no way. Of all the characters to lose.
Not Edna.
But this show has been remarkably lucky that way. None of these people were in their 20s when the show started.
That's
like everyone
true.
was in their 40s, it felt like.
Yeah.
And it's still trucking along.
That's fucking crazy. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dark times are ahead.
Interested to see how they handle it. But episode 1 of the batch of season 25 is Homeland. Episode begins with Homer, Lenny, and Carl getting ready for a nuclear workers convention. You know, pack the bag, say goodbye to the kids. Another one of these work convention type things. But then, as soon as they're there, they're having fun.
Yeah, it's a party. That's what work conventions are.
This episode has a real Cedar Rapids vibe.
Yes, I thought the same thing. I like that movie.
Yeah, that movie's very good. Kind of slept on.
That kind of movie I usually think is a little too twee for my taste, but that's a fun movie. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
John C. Reilly goes a long way.
Holy shit, he goes on.
He's very funny in that movie.
Shopping for tuna on the bottom shelf.
I also don't usually care for who's the star of that movie. Ed Helms.
Ed Helms.
Yeah.
I think Shane Helms was the hurricane. I hope that happens to the both of them a lot.
You're absolutely right. That is Shane Helms.
Yo, Shane Helms, give me a shooting star press. I'm an actor? I'm improv.
I'm a Daily Show alum, isn't he?
Yep, you're right. Yep, totally is. You ever had a job where you get to do like a big work convention? I think you have, right?
Not really. No. Like kind of. I went to Hong Kong for work that one time, and that was because that's where the company's based out of, and we're gonna have a thing. So actually, that totally counts. But yeah, nothing quite exactly like this.
I've always had jobs where I'm so low on the food chain that
I thought you were going to say emotionally.
Yeah, I just can't get on the train. But no, I once, the only time I've ever had a real big boy job, or that was even a possibility, the time I was there, the company was tanking, so they were peeling back all the extra spending. I was like, I'd hear the stories. Just like a scant 6 months before I got hired, everyone just making it rain plane tickets. But not for old Nate. Aww. He got to stay in his cubicle in Fargo.
For Nathan.
I like fun. I like nice things.
God, now that I think about it, how good would a fucking strip club employees convention be?
Oh yeah, but what are you going there to learn? Well, I guess meet other strippers from around the country.
Sure.
Like, hey, if you ever want to come up here,
go shake hands with other strip club DJs. What are you guys playing these days?
Rob Zombie, cool.
No, us too. Yeah. Rob Zombie makes music to strip to. Fucking one of his remix album is
American Made Music to Strip By.
Yep, that's exactly right.
So the convention itself is fairly, they're having fun. Nothing outrageous happens. But then you cut to the Simpson fam waiting to pick up Homer at the airport. They see Lenny and Carl like, hey, where's Homer? And they're very evasive about these questions. Like, what do you mean? Like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, you guys left as a team. Like, well, we saw him, but I don't know what happened. It's like, that's fishy.
Just because he's my friend doesn't mean I'm obligated to make sure he's alive or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
As Lenny's puking into his swag bag.
So they're kind of obviously worried. I think they maybe get Chief Wiggum involved. Like, hey, we got to figure out what's going on. They're back at the house. Trying to, what's the next step? How do you report someone missing? And that's when fucking Homer just walks in.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, hey, what's going on here?
But walks in like he's been replaced with an android.
Yeah, it's way too obvious.
Yeah. He's like super just normal, but stern.
Yep.
Just emotionless.
Just real, which Homer is all emotion. He's either crying or screaming or celebratory.
Yep.
And Marge, I think Marge just really notices it when he says he doesn't want a fried pork chop.
Yeah.
And that's when she is very taken aback by it. And he's just, again, he treats the kids way more calmly so they know something's up.
He's using a napkin, which they all shriek at.
Yeah. But you know what? He's a far better parent, or better like spouse, to the point Marge doesn't care, which is also shady fucking Marge 2 episodes. It's like, bro, that's not your husband. You're just going to let this robot man raise your kids because he's a more clean, better lay version of your husband?
Yeah.
So it's like, this is fucking Marge 0 for 2 lately.
We also get in that run of Homer's different now. He turns down a beer at Moe's. He doesn't want a beer.
Yeah. There are spoiler alert, not a big fan of this episode. There's a few good gags around this time. It's just, that's funny. That's interesting. Like just Homer not being Homer. Like, but the one that's, I think maybe Bart a little bit, but it's truly, it bothers Lisa. And she's the one that begins like kind of paying attention and pays attention to his patterns, and then sees him lay down a prayer rug.
Yeah.
He's praying to Mecca, like, oh shit. And at this point, it's clear. I've never seen the fucking show. And this is Homeland.
What very little I know of Homeland is I think it's a like 24 style anti-terrorism show, but specifically about like terror cells within the US.
Yeah.
You know, and secret terrorists.
And some like war hero comes back and he's not the same. Is a big part of it. Yeah. It's the same actor, the redheaded actor who has a huge role in Band of Brothers. I can't think of his name. Damian Lewis, I
Never
think.
saw that show.
He is, he's the guy in it.
Do I have to watch that show too?
It's looking good. Claire
even if I don't like war stuff.
It's pretty good. I mean, give it a nibble.
I can respect that Saving Private Ryan is good, but I don't want to watch it every day.
Yep. It's that good.
Okay.
I might enjoy it more than Saving Private Ryan, and I enjoy Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
Them paratrooping is just as insane as them storming the beach. And it's like a shock to the system. Like, this is hell on earth. How the fuck? I remember thinking, because this was long enough ago, I was like, how the fuck does HBO afford to make this?
Oh, okay.
This is huge, you know? Like, I mean, but I think it wasn't directed, but Spielberg and Tom Hanks had produced it.
Yeah, they were the creatives behind it.
They got a lot of money, so they can make that work. So Lisa is now kind of on the hunt. She sees that. Oh, and she overhears something about the power plant.
Yes.
And that's what really, hey, I got to talk to somebody. She calls, I don't know, some government agency. And that's when a woman that I'm assuming is voiced by Claire Danes and is Claire Danes' person in Homeland is now a part of the show.
It is not Claire Danes.
Really?
It is Kristen Wiig.
Huh. I wonder why. I wonder why they wouldn't ask Claire Danes, because it's her character, you know. Like, because she's the main part of Homeland.
Like this whole episode is so soaked in Homeland shit, from the intro to the music, like the dramatic music, the whole vibe of everything. I'm like, even having never seen Homeland, I'm like, I'm sure this is what this show is like. These sound cues and this type of music and this type of melodrama and fucking double cross shit, that I was like, maybe I'd get more out of this episode if I knew anything about Homeland.
Well, I think it's a flaw of your show if someone has to be well versed in the show you're parodying to be funny. It's like, because I was like, oh boy, this is dull.
I mean, we kind of face that because like, we try to put enough other shit that isn't Simpsons into this show so that people who don't know or care about The Simpsons can enjoy it. Yeah, so like we wrestle with that.
We can relate to the Simpsons writers at this era.
Now, someone could make the argument that by trying to do both things, we please no one, but
some could. We will continue not to listen to them.
Yeah, exactly.
And plow blindly into the darkness.
Yep, this is the show.
This is it. Buckle in.
What if we just took an insane shift 107 episodes in, and we just flatly, calmly,
just deep diving.
Yep.
Like talking about like background, like the lighting, or not the lighting, but the animation and the sound recording.
Discussing the biography of each artist who's working this season.
This is the episode where they started doing the sound in that studio in Burbank as opposed to the one
that's why it's different.
In Costa Mesa, yeah. Like that, I could not do that.
Absolutely not.
We couldn't have fart chair on a show like that. We need fart chair.
We need fart
when
chair.
When a chair farts, you record it for posterity.
Fart chair is the newest third member of this podcast.
Holy shit. Put a little like sailor hat on it. Make it cute.
Yeah. Give him his own mic.
Yeah. Well, that mic's going to record some fun sounds.
Sounds like farts.
Yeah. So Lisa's told the, fucking Homeland Security people about Homer, and they have all sorts of, people looking into it. But it's around that time where Lisa gets alone with Homer and she confronts him. And that's when we get, which I knew was coming. It's something they've done on this show. Oh, everything you thought was so nefarious has a thing.
Yeah.
Like he gets picked up by some hippies. He wasn't picked. He's wasted leaving the hotel. He gets in a van with a bunch of hippies who are all about freeing the environment. And all the torture scenes, those are from him being at a Grateful Dead show, I believe.
No, just listening to a record in a sauna, getting sobered up.
That's what it is.
They flushed him of all the hooch.
And
he's in that sauna by the steaming coals going, I've been listening to this song for 8 days and it's still the first verse.
And it's just there. And what's the explanation behind the prayer rug? There's something written on it.
It's like an affirmation prayer or an affirmation verse on there about not drinking.
Oh, yep, right. And he's bending over because like his knees hurt. That's what's.
And he didn't want the pork chops because they explained to him that animals don't want to be eaten. Yeah. Like they just preached vegetarianism to him.
And the reason he wants to sabotage the power plant is because the hippies have convinced him how all the awful things a power plant does to the environment. And he's gonna do is he's got this fucking slurry of is it expired milk and industrial chicken?
Yep.
Which is insane. And he has it in a vacuum type thing, but it's going to blow the aroma into the AC units.
Yeah. So that it'll shut down the plant but not hurt anybody.
Yeah. So now Lisa,
totally
she's a sleeper cell too. So fuck the Homeland Security. Let's do it. And that's when the guards burst in. There's a skirmish, but in the last second, Homer is able to hit the power button on the vacuum.
Lisa does it.
Oh, Lisa.
Homer gets taken down.
Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. But the swerve is now cut to a Homer in trouble in front of Mr. Burns. And Mr. Burns is like, well, your plan would have worked, except we haven't had a functioning AC unit in this place for I don't know how many years. Like,
which is insane.
For a building that big, and you have people working on nuclear, imagine the heat that produces, and you're just trapped in there.
Yep.
But the swerve that he wasn't expecting is there are a ton of Homeland Security people around. They're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You're running a nuclear power plant without any air ventilation.
Yeah.
So he gets arrested.
They arrest Mr. Burns.
I like Burns in cuffs is always a good look.
Yeah.
And then after Burns is arrested, it's Homer's back to him old self. Like there's like Lisa's like, oh, you don't have to, you can just stick with some of these. You don't have to drink. And that Duff beer comes down like on a little tiny parachute. Like, and is that even referring to anything, or is that just Das Sox Machina or whatever it's called?
It just cuts to Mo at that console.
That's
he's
what
driving
it.
Yeah. It's like this machine's gonna pay for itself.
Yeah. His first binge. Yeah. And then he grabs the beer, and Lisa's okay. You see, Dad's back,
Yeah.
And then it's just Claire Danes' character walking off, making references to shit.
Takes pills because it's implied that she's like crazy this whole time.
Just fuck.
She pushes down poor Ralphie.
Yeah,
on the way out.
That was a good laugh.
Just slams him down.
But yeah,
I did like her scene where she comes to the Simpson house to let Homer know, like, hey, I'm on to you. Because she just like slides into bed.
Yeah.
She's clearly crazy.
It's like, I'm in bed with two beautiful women. You think I'm beautiful?
Yep, she's out of her mind. My favorite gag of this whole episode that I did not enjoy this, but my favorite gag is blink and you miss it. Marge is at home. ironing her coupons.
Yep.
Which is the most wackadoo shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's right up there with, like, I'm mailing back this paper towel. Fucking
We didn't pay for this
your
many
coupons.
Or was it the whenever you do that, I write them a check when we get home.
Yep, sneaking the kids into the drive-in theater in the trunk. Yeah. You know, when we do that, I write them a check next week.
It's so great.
God damn
How
it.
confused would they be when they open that?
Right?
Like, okay, I guess.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, sure.
Yeah,
But
ironing a coupon, pretty bonkers.
Yeah. I don't mind episodes. I've accepted that's gonna be part of this show. I don't mind when like a pop culture thing influences it, but when it's this ham-handed and it's the whole episode, it's like this.
What I try
does
to keep
nothing
in
for
mind,
me.
though, is that, like, if they did this for a show I love, I'd think it's great.
Yeah.
So, you know, if The Simpsons did a Scrubs episode or a Shield episode, I'd be like, hey.
I get this.
Yeah. And I would happily point out all the references, but, like, Homeland? No thanks. Homeland seems like such a fucking dad show.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard it's really good.
I've heard that too, but by no one I believe.
Yeah.
By no one I trust.
I'm trying to think the closest thing I can think of. They did a kind of Sopranos-y episode or two where it's just lightly with the music, the
we
driving.
had the intro,
Yep.
and then like a few of the voice actors were from the show.
Yep. Because I'm just trying to think of shows I enjoy that they've ever delved into. Breaking Bad, but it's just the couch gag. Or it's just the intro.
Whereas this they did the show, you know,
for
the whole episode, and I don't. It wasn't for me.
Nope.
This was for somebody. Somebody loved this.
Did they ever? Does The Wire ever cross paths with The Simpsons? I don't think so.
I feel like it would have by now,
Yeah,
right?
it would have totally by now. So I don't think it did. Because I don't think I'd forget that. And that show's almost too bleak to like. There's
pretty tough to find the comedy in The Wire.
Yeah,
it's on my watch list someday, buddy. I'll watch it.
Oh, you're so lucky. To start from scratch.
Yeah, someday.
Omar coming.
I don't know who that is,
You're gonna.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's not my friend Omar, who I know.
I mean, he might be. It'll be a coincidence if it happens.
Oh, God, what if my buddy Omar's in this show? Apparently, I gotta watch it.
If your buddy Omar came unannounced while you're watching this show, you would have a panic attack. Oh, no. I mean, I'm sure it's my friend, but what if it's not?
Well, we did it. We did another batch of The Simpsons. We're into season 25.
Got a quarter of a century of television down.
Unbelievable.
Think of how much the world has changed.
Oh, there was a fun joke in the season finale of 24 where they're riding the train and Marge is all like, oh, you fix the train for me. And Homer's like, 10 years, honey. You think we'll make it to 25? And Bart looks at the camera and goes, nothing should.
Yeah.
That's
You're
funny.
Right. You're right. Yeah, that was
and
good.
what I referenced earlier with the Cleveland show is at the end in the credits, because the show opens with like the banner, the couch gag is there's a Simpsons 25th season banner hanging over the couch, and there's a velvet rope with a bouncer, and he lets in everyone but Homer. At the end here on the end credits, it's still Homer trying to get in, and he keeps letting other people from town in, and then he lets Family Guy in, and then he lets an American Dad in, while Homer still can't fucking get in, and then the Cleveland show people show up and they turn them away. And then Homer is standing with them with a banner that says Fox doesn't care about African Americans, and underneath and Homer.
Yeah.
And then finally they let the Cleveland show in, but not Homer. Yeah. So that was the first time I have thought about the Cleveland show, maybe ever.
I've watched a handful because it was always on after football. It's like,
Oh, sure.
pretty forgettable.
Yeah, I don't. You can only do the same thing so many times before you get diminishing returns.
Yeah,
So,
that's diminishing returns. The best way to describe that show.
yeah. I've always thought, like, boy, I bet it's a challenge, though, to decide, like, okay, what should this idea I have, which show of mine should I put that on?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like, do you put your bangers on your banger show to keep it the banger show, or do you spare a banger for the one that's suffering every so often to see if it'll catch up? Like, I bet that's hard.
That would have kind of happened with at least one of the two creative forces behind Aqua Teen was also the creative force behind Squidbillies.
Okay.
Which are the very unique shows.
Yeah.
So like at one point it's like, man, was the creativity suffering on one because they were pouring their energy into the other?
Yeah. Yeah. Or like, oh, this joke I thought of, which show should I put that in? I suppose part of that is maybe a reason why people who do multiple things, often they are vastly different. Squidbillies and Aqua Teen are pretty fucking different shows.
Yeah.
You know, like, I bet Corey Taylor knows when he writes a song if this is a Slipknot song or a Stone Sour song.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty different.
I'm sure with writing for television is you have something in mind when you're thinking of the joke.
Yeah, maybe that's it. This got way more heady than I expected.
Yeah,
it to.
look
Here
at
at
this.
the end, like, look at us really contemplating the plight of the television.
Episode 107 of the Writer's Workshop.
Join us next week. Our guest will be
some guy.
Conan O'Brien. Yeah. Next week we will do episodes 2 through 6 of season 25. We're off and running on a new episode, on a new season.
New season, new music.
New me,
new
you,
us,
new us,
yeah.
new me, new we.
No more farting chair unless we can steal it from this hotel room.
Yeah, no more fart chair.
Oh, R.I.P.
Yeah,
I mean it lives on. It's just in another town.
Yeah, someone else is farting.
I'm gonna enjoy
chair.
it. Some child is gonna sit down on this viciously to make that fart sound, and the joy, the twinkle in their eye.
So not to peel back the curtain too much, but we are recording this one a bit ahead of time, as you might have figured out from our continued discussions of fart chair.
It's
I
March
haven't been
2020.
in this hotel room for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We just saw last night the finale of the NBA Finals.
Oh yeah.
I'm not trying to rip a wound open, but the Celtics sadly could not get it done.
They could not.
I was rooting for you.
I was really hoping.
Yep.
Very frustrating.
It was. It wasn't a great watch.
Nope. Neither team kicked ass.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State kept that window open, but Boston, by God, did everything they could to fucking dick it up.
And did.
Yeah, they did.
For the most part.
They truly did. They truly shat their bed, other beds, bought beds just to shit them. That's a weird fetish.
Ugh.
Yeah,
fucking knock on wood. I've never shat in a bed.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of years left. But, oh, you mean you hope it doesn't? Yeah, it's like, I thought you'd be like, I don't know when I'm ever going to get kissed. I don't know when I'm ever going to shit a bed. All the popular boys shit their beds in high school. Big boys, don't shit the bed. Shit the bed.
Oh my God.
It's shit in the bed like psychedelics. You got to do it when you're young and freewheeling. Like your body, you can't prepare
or
for
you'll
it.
never get to it.
Yeah. You get old enough, you just shit in the bed. You just fucking let out a whimper and go back to bed. Just have the wherewithal to clean it up.
At this point, I didn't do it in my youth, so now I got to wait for my extreme
elderly, the other
years.
bell curve end.
Someday.
Why don't they just put old people in wading pools? Just fucking have them bounce and float and have an endless filtration system, just fucking.
You should pitch that to your local nursing home.
I think I should. It's gotta be better for their skin. You put some kind of like ointments in the water. Oh my God. Well, the problem is old people already pruny. Guys, how pruny they get floating in a tub.
You're right. That's the problem.
They look like those weird ass dogs that are just all wrinkles. Like that's
like a Shar-Pei.
Yeah.
The problem is the wrinkles. The problem isn't the heart of your shit pool idea.
Yeah. No, I mean the water's filtering, baby. It's always getting. I mean that water. There'd have to be a lazy river type current to keep them turds going towards the.
Oh boy!
But they're just bouncing. You put the fucking daytime TV on an overhead projector screen. I think they matter. Recliner, fucking goddamn water wings. Either way, they're just motionless, just staring at a screen. All their nonsense, bathroom nonsense is getting flushed down the river. Jesus, imagine the part-time kid that's over there with a mop, just keeping the works from being gummed up. Like,
just poking in there with a rod to
well,
keep it
motherfuckers
flowing.
eating Band-Aids. This ain't good.
Yeah, go pitch that
Yeah.
to somebody. Put on your nicest clothes.
Prepare
and go
to be
pitch that.
wowed.
Has this ever happened to you? And it's just a stick drawing of someone pooping in bed.
Yeah. Frown. Oh, man.
Oh, God. Well, 2 to 6 of season 25 for next week. We will talk about The Simpsons and some other manner of whatnot, I'd imagine.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? You can find us on the internet. BarleyBasketUSA@gmail.com is the email address. At BarleyBasketUSA on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I did it reverse order that time. Hey-o, really spicing things up.
Shit,
You didn't
doing
notice.
it.
Don't act like you noticed.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Is that your air horn?
Just gonna say, I mean, it's party time. We're cutting loose.
All right. Everyone enjoy yourselves.
Bye, everybody.